This session will introduce the outline and aims of our Python Basics module. In total, 6 Jupyter notebooks will be explained. Session 1 is about initial settings and create a dedicated virtual environment in the Anaconda Navigator. If you followed our first 2 videos, you should see the main procedure. As shown in the screen, we are going through the main elements in the top panel options. It is good if you set up your own computer by following our previous 2 videos of installing both Anaconda Navigator and Python 3 into the virtual environment, as well as installing Jupyter Notebook. When you are ready, you can follow our videos step by step. You can pause the video at any time and write your own Python code in your own machine. The best way to learn programming language is to write your own code. The screen shows many options that users can click to edit, save, import, export, delete, or update the notebook. A notebook can be saved as PDF, HTML, or other format in order to share with other users. If you or the teacher want students to run the code in their own machine, then save as .ipynb format so the notebook can be shared directly. There are also many different ways to view the notebook when the notebook contains many cells and many lines of Python code. It can show line numbers, so it becomes easier for users to check their codes. As you will agree, in your future life of programming, debugging or finding errors in the script is time-consuming. Therefore, many advanced IDEs or programming tools help users to assist debugging and find errors more easily. Nowadays, AI can also help users, but still it takes a lot of time to check errors. There are also many ways to run the notebook, but ignore these details for now. At this stage, we will look at cells in the notebook one by one. The help option is always useful. It takes time to learn programming language, but you do not need to know everything in short time. Learn from the basics, then use the help option in Jupyter or Python documentations when you face a particular question in the future project. After this session, take time to check these options in your own machine. You can open your Jupyter Lab and compare these elements so you are familiar with both applications. Now, look at the screen carefully as mentioned in the previous 2 videos. When we select the Markdown option in the top panel drop-down menu, the machine will think the texts in the selected cell are texts for users to present and for the readers to read, so it will not run the cell as a Python code. This is one of benefits from Jupyter Notebook, since it combines both Markdown presentation with Python code. If you have never heard about Markdown, no worries. It is a common and lightweight markup language for creating formatted text using a plain text editor. John Gruber created Markdown in 2004 as an easy-to-read markup language. You cannot see the difference between Markdown and normal text in your traditional Microsoft Words, but when you start to write math equations or formulas, you will realize the power of using Markdown. Anyway, at this initial stage, you can think Markdown as normal text. The machine will not run the text as Python code. As shown on the screen, when you write 1 + 1 in the new cell, if it is a Python code, the machine will calculate it and get the answer 2. But if you tell the machine it is a text by selecting the Markdown option in drop-down menu, then the machine will not calculate it, and instead it will print 1 + 1 as a text. Also, each time the machine runs the cell as a Python code, the index in the square bracket in front of the cell will be updated. We can use the menu in the top panel to add or delete cell, as well as use the options in the end of each cell to reorder or arrange cells. The module is designed to provide a fundamental understanding of Python programming, and no previous programming experience is expected. The teaching model is learning by doing, and basic concepts are discussed in an incremental manner. We will cover topics relating to core objects, variables, memory, input, output, and format strings, built-in functions, for loops and efficient computation, objective-oriented programming, data format and basic manipulation, guide for practical debugging, graphical display, Basic Machine Learning Tools and Libraries. In the previous two videos, we installed Anaconda Navigator, we explained the importance of creating and managing virtual environments, we installed packages and libraries for launching JupyterLab and Notebook. We will learn more about how to install and import Python library in more detail later on. As you can see on the screen, if we double-click the cell when it is in Markdown format, we see there are two hash keys in front of the headers. This is a Markdown style to tell the machine to highlight the headers. If we change the Markdown option to the code option, then run the cell again, there will be an error, and the error message is highlighted in red under the cell. This tells the user that the machine tried to run the cell as a Python code, but the texts do not follow Python programming syntax. If we change the Markdown option to the raw option, the machine will do nothing, so the two hash keys stay in the cell. We explained the Anaconda Navigator in the previous two videos. If you missed these two videos, please go back and watch them if you are a beginner of Python programming. We will install all of these common Python libraries in the next sessions. We can run Python in machine terminals directly, but different operating systems have different types of terminals, so at this stage we ignore this part, but we will explain them when we learn more about Python in the next sessions. Right now, let us all focus on Jupyter Notebook based on Anaconda Navigator. We introduce other popular Python integrated development environment IDEs, such as Visual Studio Code, PyCharm, Spyder, but Atom is discontinued recently, so we ignore it now. Google Colab is getting popular now. We will talk it in more detail later on, but it is very similar to Jupyter Notebook, so let us learn Jupyter Notebook first. Anaconda starts offering online cloud-based version as well, so it is also similar to Google Colab. Basically, these applications offer clouded platform for users to write and save Python code and scripts online, so no need to buy powerful computers. Alright, this first session mainly summarizes what we have done in the previous two videos. If you missed these two videos earlier, please watch them as soon as possible. Hopefully, you will set up your computer and be ready for the next sessions. Then we will write, run, and explain the Python code. As shown on the screen, the first session is about setting the Anaconda Navigator and create virtual environment for installing Jupyter Notebook. Then, in session 2, we will understand the object and data structure in the Python world. In session 3, we look at the data type in Python and how to operate them, which means how to deal with different data types, such as numbers, strings, and so on. In session 4, we start using existing and powerful Python libraries, so we do not need to create sophisticated Python functions or programs by ourselves from scratch. This means we do not need to build a car in order to drive a car. In session 5, we focus on data management, since one of important benefits of using Python programming language or any other computer programming language is to help us to analyze huge amount of data, so-called big data, more efficiently, so it is important to learn how to manage or update the data more efficiently. This Python Basics module is more relevant to the students who will use Python to do data science in finance, asset management, or economics. So how to manage financial data or time series data is important in this session. Of course, nowadays, natural language processing is also very valuable to understand the stock markets. Finally, Session 6 gives more examples to conclude all sessions. Students should feel more confident to prepare more advanced courses, such as use Python in data science or data analysis for asset management and quantitative finance. That's all for this session. See you in next session.